Hello, everyone. Welcome, professor and colleagues. Today, I am going to talk about language, gender, and identity and apply linguistics perspectives. This presentation explores the intricate connections between language, gender, and identity within applied linguistics, trying on foundational concepts from Bryant, Tricks Research Methods in Applied Linguistics 2015. We're going to start with the first concept. The first concept is about EFL, Second Language Acquisition. English, as a foreign language, is a term used to describe the study of English by non-native speakers in countries where English is not the dominant language. This is not to be confused with English as a second language, also called English as an additional language, which is the practice of learning English in predominantly English-speaking country. Purpose, such as reading scientific academic materials or for career advancement. Evolving definitions of gender in linguistics. Traditional biological view. Historically, some scientific research define gender primarily from a biological standpoint, with male and female. But we have other constructions, contemporary social construction, modern perspectives, largely view gender as a social construct shaped by social, embodied individuals throughout linguistic and social practice throughout their lives. These evolving understandings have led to significant linguistics adaptations, broadening our approach to gender and communication. Other important concept is language as social semiotic research. Language is essentially a research for making meaning in context. A social semiotic, not a collection of formal rules and forms. This perspective emphasizes language's dynamic role in shaping and reflecting social interactions, moving beyond a purely grammatical analysis to focus on its contextual function. Identity, a dynamic, socially constructed self. Socially constructed self. Identity refers the socially constructed nature of the self, shaped by interactions and societal narratives. This topic is so interesting because it works with narratives. Okay, multiple and evolving. It's not singular or stable, but multiple and subject to change across diverse times and space. Understanding identity as an ongoing narrative is crucial for applied linguistics research. This part is so important to understand better our world. All right, we can find different key approaches in language, gender, and identity research. Number one, we can find social linguistics, corpus linguistics. Number two, number three, conversations analysis. Number four, discursive psychology. Number five, critical discourse analysis. And number six, feminist box structuralist discourse analysis. These approaches are so important to do a great research about these topics. These six approaches provide a comprehension, though non-exclusive framework for investigating the complex interplay of language, gender, and identity. Now, we are going to revise different researchers about this topic around the time. We are going to start with research number one. The title is Language and Gender. Others, Hira Hall, Rodrigo Borba, and Mai Hiramoto. The year is 2021. Abstract, the field of language and gender is a method, logically diverse and convention approaches that include conversations analysis, corporal linguistics, critical discourse analysis, discursive psychology, linguistic anthropology, and variations sociolinguistics. This methodology was comprehension, review of linguistics, anthropology, and sociolinguistics. Pros about this research: theoretical breadth and interdisciplinary insight. Cons: described focus, complexity of synthesis. Contributions: this work delves into how complex language in its relationship with the different generations that exist. Highlighting Generation C, observing new terminologies. Research number 2. The title is Sex, Gender, and Health, Mapping the Landscape of Research and Policy. The authors, Lorraine Graves and Stacy Riggs, year 2022, including sex and gender considerations in the health research, is considered essential by many funders and is very useful for policymakers, programs, developers, clinicians, consumers, and other end users. Methodology about this research were mapping review and quality synthesis. Pros: comprehensions, gap identification, and policy relevance. Cons: scope versus depth, subjective and synthesis. Contributions: they provide terminological guidelines and orientations for appropriate language use in a specific field, in this case, the field of health. Now we are going to talk about research number 3. The title is Language Change on Social Media. The authors were Selina Luhulina, Duncan Rutagol, Nofijanti Rajmawati, and Enda Dinuit. The year is 2024. The abstract: language change is the permanent alteration of a language's features and use over time, affecting various aspects such as sound, vocabulary, meaning, and syntax. Methodology: quality contents analysis and discourse analysis. Pros: ecological validity, and detailed analysis. Cons: sampling bias, ethics of privacy, ephemeral nature. Contributions: this work supports by providing and applying a practical example in this area of the environment and social networks, depicting how important social networks are today. About these works, we have these comparisons. These words have in common to the use of gender, identity, and language as determinant and supporting variables in the study that were purpose, showing a diversity of useful use in the area of applied linguistics, which provides guidance for future research that can be carried out in this field. Now, we are going to talk about final reflections and considerations about 3 main points. Gender. EFD has the opportunity to see how this variable can influence and be relevant at the level of fields of action, social inequalities, inclusive language, and conversational styles. Identity. EFD has the opportunity to delve deeper into the implications of intersectionality, how language are acquired, and the role individuals can play in the community. Language. This variable, we have the opportunity to address different topics such as translanguages, linguistic ideologies, the informal or formal force of languages, and how they are constructed over time in different contexts. These topics are so important to the applied linguistics. Thanks for your attention. God bless you so much.